Okay, what we're going to look at today is expanding and simplifying brackets. So let's start with an example on two single brackets. So what we need to do is expand out the brackets so they're not there, and then collect any like terms that we find we have left in our expression. Okay, so we are multiplying 4 by everything that's on the inside. So we've got 4 times 3x. So that will get us 12x. Then what we've got is 4 times plus 1, and that will get us plus 4. Then we got minus 3 times by x, minus 3 times x, well that's minus 3x, and minus 3 times minus 5. A minus times a minus gets a positive, 3 times 5 is 15. So let's simplify what we have after that. So we've got x's, we've got 12 of them, and then we're taking away 3 of them, so we get 9x. And we've got plus 4 plus 15, so we get plus 19. And there you go, expanded and simplified two single brackets. Right, so the second example, when we expand this out, we're going to have a y times y, which gets us a y squared. So we then simplify afterwards anything that's similar in any of the terms, okay? So let's have a look. Let's expand the brackets first. 2y times y gets me 2y squared. 2y times plus 4 gets me plus 8y. 2 times 4 is 8, and we've got the y. Then we've got y times 7y, and that's a plus y times a plus 7y. So that's plus 7y squared. And then we've got a y times a negative 3, a plus y times a negative 3, so that's negative 3y. So again, we need to simplify the answer. So we've got y squareds and y squared, so we can simplify these. I've got 2 and 7, so that makes 9y squared. Then I've got my 8y, and I take away 3y, so I've got plus 5y. And that is your solution. Okay. So now we've done two single brackets, let's have a look at two double brackets. I need to expand these double brackets. So the best method I think for you guys is going to be FOIL. Okay, there are other ways of doing it. You could do it by inspection, or you could do it using the grid method, treating it like a two-digit number. But it's easier, I think, if we just do it with FOIL. Okay, so what we do is we multiply the first terms in each bracket. We multiply the outer terms of both brackets, the inner terms of both brackets, and then the last terms of either bracket. Okay, so first terms in both brackets, well, that's x and 7. Okay, so that's 7 times x, which gets us 7x. The outer terms of the two brackets, well, that's x and minus 2x. So we're going to multiply x and minus 2x, and that gets us minus 2x squared. Okay. Then what we're going to multiply are the inner terms. Well, that's 3 and 7. So that's 3 times 7, which is plus 21. And then the last terms of both brackets, well, the last term in this one is 3, and the last one in this term is minus 2x. So we're going to multiply 3 by minus 2x, and we get minus 6x. So as it's a quadratic, we expect to have an x squared term. Yep, great. And usually we do have a number. Sometimes we don't always have an x. Sometimes we don't always have a number even. But let's not worry about that too much for this question. So because it's a negative 2x squared, normally I start with the x squareds, but because it's a negative, I'm just going to flip it in reverse. I'm going to start with the number, then do the x's, and then do the x squareds, just so I start with the positive value, because I've got a plus 21. So if I wrote these terms out, I'd start with the number and I'd get 21. Add 7x, minus 6x, and then minus 2x squared. And then all I want to do is simplify the answer, because I've got two lots of x's going on. So I get 21 plus x minus 2x squared. And that is your answer. Like I said, sometimes you don't get numbers or you don't get x's. I'll give you an example, quick example. If I was multiplying x by, I don't know, 3 minus 4x, this is going to get me a quadratic term. It's going to get me an x times an x. So what this will get me is 3x minus 4x squared. And you'll notice that there's no number there. So when we go looking at factorizing, if there's no number there, it means you can factor out an x first, okay? And then have a look at what you're left with, see if you can factor out anything else. But don't worry about that. That's just a bit of a sideshow for now. Right, triple brackets. Triple brackets are do what you did with double brackets and then do it once more. That's it. Okay, so you've got one extra step. So usually you expand out two brackets to begin with. So here I've got 2x minus 5 multiplied by x minus 4 all squared. Well, that's the same as saying 2x minus 5 multiplied by x minus 4 twice. Okay, and that's what the squared stands for. And we should know that by now. So what I'll do is I'm going to multiply out this x minus 4 times x minus 4. X minus 4, so let's do FOIL. So what have we got? The first terms, x times x is x squared. The outer terms, well, that's going to be x and minus 4, so that's minus 4x. The inner terms, which is minus 4 and x, so that's minus 4x. And the last terms in, actually, did I do outer, inner, and the, oh yeah, sorry, the last terms, there you go, minus 4 times minus 4. Minus 4 times minus 4 is a plus 16. So now let's just quickly simplify. Let me move the camera a bit so we can get a bit more paper. Let's just simplify these two minus 4x's. That will get me minus 8x. So I've got 2x minus 5 times by x squared minus 8x plus 16. And I just now have to expand that out. Now, I recommend going to grid method for this because there's going to be so many different arrows, it's quite easy to make a mistake. But if you're happy to go with the arrows, doing like what we did here with FOIL, then you crack on, you do it that way, that's fine. But it would be 2x times this, 2x times x squared, 2x times minus 8x, 2x times plus 16. Then minus 5x times x squared, minus 5 times minus 8x, and then minus 5 times 16. And then you add and subtract all the terms by and simplify. But I like to do it grid method, and this is what I would do. So I'm timesing everything together. I've got 2x and minus 5. I've got x squared. I've got minus 8x. And I've got plus 16. So 2x times x squared is 2x cubed. I've got 2x times minus 8x, which is minus 16x squared. I've got 2x times 16, and that's a 32x. Then I've got minus 5 times x squared, which is minus 5x squared. Minus 5 times minus 8x, which is 40x. And then minus 5 times 16, that's going to get me minus 80. And the nice thing about this grid method is these diagonals get me the same term. Okay, so I've got 40x and 32x. So I'm going to combine these to get my one term. Same with this. These are the x squareds. So I can combine this to get my x squared terms as well. So what I have is 2x minus 5 times x minus 4 all squared equals 2x cubed minus 5x squared minus 16x squared is minus 21x squared. 40x plus 32x is plus 72x, and then I've got my minus 80. And that is your answer. Right, hopefully this helps you out a little bit if you've forgotten how to do certain things, or if you just want a different alternative method because you think maybe it will help. All right. Have a go at some questions, see how you do. If you get stuck, make sure you email me. All right. Have a great day, guys.